There are so many Canva tools from Miro over Lucidspark to Figma, which I'm using right now, and to Milanote. And the question is, which one works the best for you and which one have the best use cases? So in this video, I'm not going to show you how it actually works, the app itself. I'm really more explaining the system behind it and which might be the best solution for you. And honestly, it is in your preference which tool works the best for you. I'm just giving some small ideas. But first, who am I? So I'm Jeff, I'm a photographer and also ex-co-founder of a German company called Xanevo. We were a team of 10 people and made in the first year of business 300,000. And now we kind of even predict into 7 figures, but 1-2 years ago, I paid myself out in this company because it was not my passion. And now my passion is actually doing this YouTube stuff here, building my personal brand, teaching or helping other people with problem solving, productivity, and self-improvement, and mainly business productivity overall in some aspects. So when it comes down to digital canvas and visualization, there are 3 questions I mostly ask myself and maybe ask you. So what is essential for a tool or software or program? Honestly, most Canva tools do have similar aspects, so it's not really like a huge difference compared to project management tools like you can see up there, where another video will be coming up soon as well, and also writing or second brain tools. So Canvas are kind of like in some ways all like a visual whiteboard, so nothing is too complex. First of all, the Canvas tool needs to work for you, not for anyone else. Second of all, every tool has a different system, structure, and use case. And third of all, does it help you to get the results you desire? Just to explain shortly about all the different use cases before getting to the digital canvas is, as mentioned before, we have project management, second brains, and digital canvas. And in my perspective, digital canvas is more for like visualization, for mind mapping, for idea generation, and it's not really that strongly productivity related, but there are 2 techniques I want to show you at the end of this video, how to make and simplify your digital life with only having a whiteboard. But if you're interested in terms of business productivity and want to start your own business, I have a 7-day challenge, Chaos to Clarity, and I will guide you to more clarity, less chaos, higher productivity, and fewer work hours, and kind of like the foundation of your second brain business, which will be in a lot of other videos at the talking point about a second brain business. But yeah, so if you're interested, you can join a challenge, and also you can download the PDF file in the challenge. So if you're interested to see the other options available. Most of you probably familiar with Miro, right? Miro is the main thing most people know. And first of all, I'm not really a big fan of Miro, just because in my perspective, there are the better tools out there. And kinda, I don't know, I feel like always if something is a bit too paywalled, which actually Notion also is. But yeah, but still I like Notion. But I don't know, somehow with Miro, I'm not really getting warm with it. I use it in the beginning for like consulting work, and I think that's also the main use case. Most people who use Miro is more like collaboration and consulting. Yeah, so in my perspective, you have the extensive template library, and you have the integration with a lot of other tools like Slack, Google Drive, Teams, etc. So that is something which is useful, but I feel that it's a bit more complex than the other tools. So yeah, let's see the other tools first. Then we have Lucidspark. Lucidspark, that's the only one which I haven't tested myself, really. But honestly, most Canva tools are similar. So it's really like nothing too special. It's simple, nothing too special. Also flexible drawing. I think the only difference here is that they have specific streamlined processes, which maybe helps more with productivity and is a bit more interactive. But yeah, I think it's kind of like, it's nothing too special. I think the most important is what is the best visual overlay. And in my perspective, Figma and Milanote are a bit better in this case. For example, Figma is a tool which I'm using right now here, which is really good on the iPad, first of all. And also it is quite simply designed, that is extremely responsive, extremely flexible. You also have Freeform from Apple, but the thing is it's not really connectable. The good thing about Figma if you're a Notion user, you can connect Figma to Notion, which really does a big change and really makes everything easier. It also works with Miro, but if I'm comparing Miro, and Figma, honestly, I would always choose Figma just because it looks more visually appealing, and it have more functions or useful functions in my perspective. But yeah, that's only my perspective. The thing also with Figma, it has FigJam, which is actually the software here, and Figma is more like this prototyping tool of web design, which is pretty powerful. And honestly, I think for most people, Figma is already a great solution. But there's also Milanote, and that's also my favorite tool, which I'm using myself as well. So I use Figma and Milanote. Figma mostly for these YouTube video, and it just simplifies this really well. Milanote is not really that well with like painting on the iPad. It is better for like a drag and drop system. And now the big game changer about Milanote in my perspective is like this folder system. And kind of no other canvas tool itself has it. So for example, a Canva tool which is included in Obsidian or in Effin, which is the one here, or in, I think, ClickUp as well, they have a folder system. But from the normal canvas, it doesn't have a folder system. But this makes Milanote so powerful and simple. The only big problem, you need to pay for Milanote. It's cost $10, and I think that's something where a lot of you like say, oh, okay, man, Notion is for free, and Obsidian as well. It's like, why should I pay for it? Yeah, that's something to decide for yourself. I'm a huge fan of the simplicity, and I started with it as one of my really first productivity tool. And honestly, it helped me a lot because of simplicity, and kind of like sometimes the simpler something is, the better you can stick to it. And that's the big thing. So this drag and drop system is extremely effective, especially, as mentioned before, my two little things I want to show you with. With this folder system, we have two really strong things, which also works for project management and second brain system, but works perfectly for Milanote. So there's no affiliation with Milanote or something. I'm just a huge fan. And yeah, I think like decide Figma or Milanote, maybe Lucidspark, but yeah, I haven't tested it out myself, so I can't get too much into detail. So the best thing, for example, is organization features for Milanote, because it has a folder system like a desktop PC, which is pretty good. So it makes it super simple, and we can use the para method, which is made from Tiago Forte, which is projects, areas, resources, and archive. So everything gets easier and more simple. So for example, let's say project have a specific end in mind. So it's shortly and can then be archived at the end. Then we have areas, which is something which is never completed and is something and is actionable as well. For resources, it's non-actionable, like books, reading lists, etc. So we just get our resource and information from there. And archive is like kind of like the rubbish bin, just the rubbish bin which will not be deleted, because who knows, maybe in 1 or 2 years you still need something. And that's something, and that perfectly aligns with Milanote, and that's one of the big reasons why I like Milanote that much. And honestly, if Figma would include, or any other tool would include this folder system, man, I think it would help a lot your business. So if anyone watching this, get it. And then another tool which might help your productivity is the moving project and task system. I don't know if anyone made it as well. I kind of like done it myself. It's a super simple calendar feature where we just move specific tasks. So first we have create a calendar. This can be super simply in Milanote and have a drag and drop system, or the next time. And when we move a task from there to the next one, we can just color it. It's like, hey, it's done. Like, honestly, nothing complicated. We can also even do it on a piece of paper. And then we also move the unfinished task, because a lot of things in a single day sometimes are not that important. So we can like procrastinate on a specific reason for this. And then on next time, or on the next move, We can also delete unnecessary items because honestly, yeah, as I mentioned before, a lot of things are useless. And for this, we can use the Eisenhower matrix. So this is a really, really short system, and I hope it is simply explained for you enough that you can implement it into your productivity. Yeah. And yeah, that's actually it. So in my perspective, it's only my point of view. Use Figma or FigJam or Milanote. Really up to you. If it's only canvas or really get into something more specific, but that's for the next video. And if you want to see the full version where I explain everything around every single tool and which one works the best, click this video. I hope I'm doing the right thing. So see you guys in my next video. Bye.